Hey guys, unfortunately I have another story about my abusive mom where she destroyed all my stuff, and I mean all of it. So I had a lot of expensive stuff that I had bought all myself, probably around the 3 grand mark, with money that I earned from my job. Done with the backstory. Time for the actual story. So my brother and my so-called mother were arguing about something stupid, which resulted in my mom going into a tornado of seething anger and took away his bucks that my older brother bought as not around because he literally joined the military because of my abusive parents. So afterwards she was still seething with anger. I went downstairs to make a burrito and I ate it. She came out of nowhere and yelled at me for leaving one piece of rice on the kitchen table. I literally mean one piece. I go upstairs and grab my Xbox controller to charge it. She yells at me to bring that shit downstairs now, referencing to the Xbox controller. I say no, because she didn't pay for it, because I did. I think it's the end, and boy was I wrong. She came up with a sledgehammer and broke everything: my 60-inch TV, my Xbox, my custom made computer that I fucking made, and all my lights and posters. Then smashed my wall and walked away. I'm pissed but don't know what to do considering I'm 16. If you can tell me how to get out legally without needing my parents, I'm open ears. Thanks for reading TLDR. My mom was mad because I left a piece of rice on the table, told me to give her the stuff I paid for, so she smashed $3,000 worth of stuff that I paid for. Characters: me, M, Ek. Backstory: me, my little sisters went to the doctors for COVID. For the usual stuff I got thirsty, so I got my debit card. There was a giant egg ale or a Speedway I wanted and sweet tea, so I chose Speedway because I like those Arizona teas. Got one and a bag of chips. So I walked back to the doctor's office, chips and drink in hand. Enter M and Ek. Mommy, I want those chips. M. Give my son his chips. Me. His, I paid for them, they're mine later. Ek. Can I play on your phone? Me, no you can't, this is my phone. I was playing Jetpack Joyride in 2019 and listening to music. The little brat gets his mom M. Give my little angel your phone. Me. No, it's mine. So her dumbass mind grabbed my phone. I had my headphones in. I use wire to get my phone. If I was not a boy I would have slapped her. So a couple years ago I was in a local cards and games store looking to buy magic cards when an obvious Karen and her 2 kids walk in. So entitled mom just pulls out her phone and starts texting, while her 2 children start running around grabbing action figures and leaving them all over the store. They also were pulling cards for various card game out of their neatly organized and stacked piles and putting them back in random spots. If you don't know, cards like those take forever to sort and put in the right place. I have spent hours organizing my cards. So the owner asks the kids to stop messing up the cards and they do, but they go back to their mom, who goes ballistic on the owner, yelling at him about how she is never gonna buy from him again. Forgot exactly what she said, BC it was a while ago. Then she stormed out. Not exactly as exiting as some of the stories on here, but though I might as well put it on here. Okay, so this happened when I went to Chicago with my sister, her boyfriend, and my cousin. I also have a boyfriend, but we are in a long distance relationship, just for context. And while we were in Chicago we went to this mall to get some stuff and food. And while we were getting our food this guy came up to me and started to flirt with me. Not even a hey how are you, just went right into flirting with me. So of course I shut this down and said, hey sorry, I'm married to someone, and then just right back to texting. But he said some, I don't see a ring on it, so you must be lying, which kinda made me mad, and I shot back saying leave me alone, I'm in a relationship, I'm not gonna talk to you anymore. And this grown man got huffy and walked away from me like a toddler who just got told no. So a little time went by and we are eating when this woman comes up to me and says, are you the girl who got mad when my son called you out? Now when hearing that, we all looked at this lady like she was a fool, and I said that he didn't call me out and that he tried to call me a liar when I said I'm in a relationship, and then got mad when I told him I wasn't talking to him. She got more mad when I said the truth and called me a lying bitch, which got my sister boyfriend, who is my bestie, stood up and said, don't call my little sister a lying bitch, it's not her fault, your son can't respect the fact she is in a relationship with someone. tell your son to come over here and say something to me about her boyfriend and I'll sort it out." The woman backed up and glared at me and said, "You should've just took his number, this is your fault," and then stormed off. This still bugs me because what grown-ass person calls their parents when someone rejects them? This story happened a few weeks ago. Me, my mum, and my little sister were in the checkout at Kohl's waiting for about 20 minutes for this old lady to get her 10,000 different groceries out when her friends show up behind her and she says to us, "The girls are coming up behind me, so dick off." My mum usually isn't the angry type, but I am. I got mad at the old hag and told her to apologize. She waved it off and continued to scan her stuff and the rest of her troop pushed in front of us. And since my mum isn't really the conflictive or angry type, as previously stated, we just walked to another checkout and were half an hour late to pick up my older brother from football, where we found him shivering and cold sitting on the grass waiting for us. Honestly, I had really hoped nothing like this would ever happen to my family and that I would have something to post here, but now I do, so whatever. I was in the I ate at Taco Bell when they reopened for a holiday and was on the bus home. Suddenly I encountered a strong smell and started vomiting. I was spraying vomit for 4 minutes non-stop. After I was done vomiting, someone called 911 and the EMS people took me to the I was in the about to have the contents of my tummy removed when a mother started yelling at a doctor about how they wanted to give her daughter too many shots. After a few minutes I got angry, walked into the room across from me and said, "Just give the child an fourth and wait for a minute for her to adjust. Then inject the vaccines into the fourth tube, you dumbass." The nurse says, "Is that an approved medical practice?" I give her an angry look and said, "That is how I got my vaccines." Just as she was about to argue with me, I vomited again. Later on I glanced across the hall and saw the child on an fourth. What the fuck, lady? Mobile user. English isn't my first language blah blah blah. So this story takes place in, I'd say, early 2001 and I was in primary year 6. Sorry Americans, I don't know grades, and me and a couple friends were in a relatively closed friend group. We weren't antisocial or anything, we were just very close knit, and this kid, we'll call him X, started harassing a girl in our group. For context, no one liked X. He was a little mama's boy who did stupid shit like start a fight then blamed the other person and act all innocent. At first we didn't notice as we just thought he was doing his normal shit, going around trying to piss people off, so we just would tell to shake it off. And we just went back to playing, when after a couple days, no clue why, he starts following us around trying to engage in conversation, but we all ignore us. So the day after that, we're waiting outside school for classes to open when a woman in her 40s approached me. Classic Karen, dyed hair, wrinkly, yada yada, and she gives me a borderline pimp smack right across the far. So the authored adults just watch as she bolts off as the head teacher, a good man but he's unfit, tries to catch her but fails. After that he runs to me. I'm still kinda blankly staring into the sky. I wasn't crying or anything, I was still trying to process what just happened. Anyway, turns out she shouted at other kids, but I guess I somehow pissed her off to the point where she hit me. After that we had the parents of the other children and my parents had a meeting with the head teacher who explained what happened, and by the time anyone thought of pressing charges to ex-mom, she left that part of the country. I wish I could say she was locked up. Probably not even locked up that long, cause Brishan's dumb like that, but we never could find her and she is probably still out there with her healing Roxanne. No mask. And that, my friends, is the story of how I got backhanded by a corpse. You heard me right. Cast me, yours truly M. Entitled Bitcheb, entitled brother. So let me set the scene for you. I was making some cereal at the dining table and she comes and yells at me and comes and slaps me. Me, WTF. What did I do? M, you keep cussing. Me, doesn't give you any right to slap me. M, the parent. Eb, yay. Just quit cussing. Me, you know what, I'm tired of this bullshit. And she just screamed at me and slapped me more. She is playing the fucking victim. I'm so done with this shit. A couple of years ago I was fishing at a small local pond. My favorite spot was taken, but I decided to go over and ask if we could share the spot. It is a small spillway below a pond, and there wasn't a ton of room, but they were okay with me there, so it was fine. Up step the characters, Ek 1, Ek 2, M, and CD, chill dad. Only the kids were fishing, while the parents sat on a bench. I noticed right away that the kids weren't going to catch anything with the setup they had. I won't go into detail about it, but in a nutshell they had a huge weight about 2 inches from their hook. I thought about giving them advice, but I just decided to start fishing. I start landing fish after fish after fish. Most were little, but I must have caught 20 in 10 minutes. It was every cast. CD starts teasing the boys, and let's just say they handled it like 10-year-olds, which they appeared to be. Well, Ek 1 and 2 didn't like this one bit, and started trying to sabotage my fish catching attempts by hooking my line and throwing rocks near my lure. I asked them, can you ask them to stop, but she just says they are just jealous, leave them alone. Right at that moment I get a bite and land a chunky sunfish. I felt a swell of joy as I watched the pure anger in both Ek's faces, but that quickly shifted to horror as they moved towards my other rod that was sitting about 10 feet away. They then proceeded to throw it at me, but I was able to dodge it, and it landed in the water behind me. At this point I think they might dump out my tackle box too, so I run up and pick up all my gear and tell the kids to get away, not so politely this time. M goes ballistic, demanding to know how I thought I could talk to her kids like that. But CD came to the rescue. With the reddest face I have ever seen, he tells his wife to calm down and tells the kids to get in the car. Hilariously, he makes the ex apologize and give me the rest of their fishing worms. I proceed to spend 10 minutes trying to get my rod back and feeling very bad for that guy. TLDR, man thinks with the wrong head and regrets it every single day. Okay, so this is one of dumbest things I have ever gotten in trouble for. So yesterday, I was gaming with my friend when his little brother comes in and demands to play his daily TF2 games on his PC. One of the conditions of having a PC was it must be kept in the family room, and his little brother, who has a tendency of downloading viruses, must share it despite him paying every penny for it. He also must unplug it every night and lug it into his parents' room at night, making it so he has a really nice gaming PC, but it has TF2 stickers on it he cannot remove because his entitled little brother likes them there. He also cannot properly cable manage his setup, so it looks like garbage, but that is a story for another time. My friend politely explains that we are playing and that he can have it later, but he won't have any of it. Instead he throws a fit and his insane parents force him to let him play. Over Discord, I tell him we are playing, and that is really rude, and he then gets all defensive and decides he wants to 1v1 in TF2, a game I have never played before. I tell him fine, and I download it, and I join him on a server. He then says he will F***k me up, really aggressive for an 8-year-old, and first to get 15 kills wins. The first round, I kill him within 20 seconds, and he screams. This continues every single time, until I beat him 15-0. He is pissed, and walks my friend's keyboard on the desk until it breaks, while screaming while my friend watches in horror. Then his mother comes in to see what the commotion is all about, and the little brat says we 1v1 Ed, and I was bullying him because I killed him 15 times. I over Discord tell her that's not what happened and told her about everything, and she suddenly just starts to yell at me. She yells at me for bullying her son to the point he rages and breaks my friend's keyboard. She then says I'm in trouble and have to pay for the keyboard. I tell her once again what happened, but she ended the call. My mother then received a call later, and now I'm grounded for 2 weeks. Nothing has changed because I can't even go outside, but I have refused to pay for the keyboard and my friend agrees. Who do you think of when hearing about Ems and Karens? I always imagine the red hair lady from a few years ago whenever I read this sub. The kids bop lady is the one a friend of mine imagines. So who do y'all imagine in these situations? Karen from a few years ago, https://images.app.goo.gl/x6jszqw32auxnk9. Found this in a local school district post about online classes due to not opening the schools at the beginning of the school year as per normal. I feel I need to clarify that this district is in a very affluent part of the city where CEOs, professional athletes and former presidents live. The only reason I feel to include that is so that readers don't think that financial hardships are why parents are frustrated. I'd include copy/paste of text, but the screenshot where you can see people's reactions is gold. **EP****. Where can I submit my invoice to get my teacher pay since I'm now teaching at home? School district. Hi **EP***. We don't pay parents/guardians for virtual learning. Teachers will still be providing lessons to those learning at home. But if you're interested in being paid for educating and would like to see all the challenges teachers face during the pandemic, please consider being a sub for us. The pandemic has made it very challenging to attract subs because most people don't want to face the challenges teachers currently face. https://unga.com/gallery/lg0trgl https://unga.com/gallery/lg0trgl Link to screenshot. So this happened a few years ago, and I was at Hot Topic with my mom and sister. I'm looking at the hats because I had nothing better to do. I hear some talking about this kid and about how it's his birthday. So the kid walks up and looks at the hats. He grabs one and asks his mom if he can have it. It's $5 and she says, "You're getting a skateboard today." Now put that back. Overly loud and I'm in line. I see her leaving, so I hurry and grab the hat, buy it, then proceed to give it to him. While she is trying to convince me to keep the hat, he has this huge smile on his face. I give the mom a crap-eating grin and proceed to leave the store. Sorry, this isn't the most entitled post, but I thought it was a cool post.